we've got a really exciting group of people, two folks here tonight, to introduce and make a donation to our troop. Scout troop, there's many positions that can be held, and one of those positions is the bugler. But in order to facilitate having a bugler, you must have a bugle. And they're kind of costly, and as you know, everything in Scouts costs a lot of money, right? If you've ever gone to the Scout office, it's just like bleeding your pockets dry. I want to introduce and bring up Frank and Dee O'Donnell, or we just do it through both? Excellent. Frank and Dee O'Donnell are recent new move-ins to Utah. Dee is the regional president of Wells Fargo Bank for the state of Utah, so she's a huge deal. And I haven't met Frank before, but this is my first time meeting him, so welcome. Frank just did a back and forth trip across the country in an RV from Virginia to Utah and then back. And did you drive back or did you fly? Drove back. Wow. So he's a little tired. He literally just got in the other day and then drove down to see us. So I came up and asked Dee in a meeting that we had just a little bit ago about using Wells Fargo as a sponsorship to help our troop out with a bugle. And she said, no, Wells Fargo isn't in the type of position where we want to do that. But I would be more than happy to personally, with the Frank and Dee O'Donnell Foundation, make a donation of a bugle to your troop. I was blown away. I thought, fantastic. So I'm going to introduce them, and we will bring up our bugler at the end and make the official presentation.
Okay, good. Thank you so much. As Scott said, we have just arrived here. We've actually been in our house for 1 week, and we absolutely love Utah. This is as far west as we have ever been. Before now, it was Georgia, was the furthest west we've ever been. So that gives you a little context, but we have just loved the area. One of the things I also wanted to thank Scott for, because I work with Scott, and Scott is such a role model, and I know how much he loves scouting and talks about the Boy Scouts and the work that you do. It's that example that makes someone like me remember back in 1960, I was a Girl Scout, and I have the most wonderful memories. I still remember being in a tent and making some kind of meal that was a hamburger, and it was carrots and onions wrapped in aluminum foil, and my mother still makes that today, by the way. So I was like 12 years old at the time. But hearing him talk about scouting really does make me pause and say, thank you for what you do. Thank you for the role models that all you Boy Scouts are for our country with what is right and what is good, and the service that you give to others. So Frank and I are more than proud to say, let's donate the bugle to the Boy Scouts, and thanks Scott and all of you in the troop for what you do every day for our country and for others in your service. Thank you.
All right, this is the unveiling to some of you, and this is just fantastic. All right, Jace, you've got the gloves on, and then don't forget the mouthpiece. If you take a look at the inside of this thing, it is deluxe. Padded case, oils, and you know it. All right, you ready? Thank you, Dee. And Nathan, back to you.